Hello everyone, welcome to 3 veggie food prep tips that I'm loving right now. My name is Lana from Blast Fitness with Lana. If I haven't met you in person, well hello, welcome to my kitchen. It's pretty quiet in here right now because my daughter is at daycare for the day and today is one of my work days. So what we are going to talk about quickly today is some of the things that I do in my kitchen to make sure that myself and my family eat a lot of vegetables, because we obviously know that vegetable intake is a really big aspect of having a healthy diet, and it's one of the biggest foundational nutritional habits that I work on with my clients. So you want to think about our vegetable intake from a couple perspectives. First of all, it's a really great way to get a ton of nutrition, and I'm hopping back and forth between Facebook and Instagram, which is why I'm not always making eye contact with you all the time. So our vegetable intake is a really great way to get a ton of nutrition in for not a lot of calories. So that's one of the biggest benefits of eating tons of veggies, is that I consider it a volume food. So we can eat quite a large volume, like we can fill half or 3/4 of our plate with veggies, and we're gonna have a relatively low caloric content for a really high amount of nutrition. So that's one huge benefit. Most veggies are also packed with fiber, so it's a really great way for us to stay really nice and full. So we actually fill up on food that takes space in our stomach, brings that high nutrient content along with it, and makes us actually feel full, because our brain gets the signals from our stomach that it is physically full, right? All those mechanoreceptors in our stomach have to stretch when we're eating tons of vegetables. So we're going to talk about loving right now to get more veggies in my life. So the first tip, I have to say, I didn't even think of this myself. I got it from Jen at Mama Lion Strong, and it's such a simple but awesome tip, which is to make a weekly veggie tray. So I call it the weekly veggie box because we actually put it in a big Tupperware container. But on a Sunday or sometimes a Monday morning, if Sundays get crazy with relaxing and having fun, I chop up a bunch of veggies. This week it was cucumbers, carrots, and peppers. I try to switch it up so that I don't get bored from week to week, because for me, food boredom is a big thing. I like to make sure that I'm always changing up the flavors. So when it comes to which types of vegetables, I always try to make sure there's at least one green vegetable in there. Last week there was a couple green veggies because we had celery and cucumbers and red peppers and carrots. And then this week, cucumbers again. You can do broccoli, cauliflower. There's tons of different permutations of the weekly veggie tray. So the best thing about this is that it literally, I timed myself, it took me 6 minutes to chop up, to wash, get out of the fridge all the veggies, chop them up, put them in the container and put the lid on. That's how much time, so not much time at all. I don't really love doing food prep, but when it makes it so much easier to get my veggies in for the rest of the week, then it's a major win. The other thing that works really well is I have a daughter that's a 1.5 years old, so I'll just take the pre-cut veggies, chop them up a little bit smaller, or just give her, a stick of yellow pepper, and then she can eat them too. This also goes on the table when we're eating dinner, so if I just prep a protein or a salad or some other stuff, this goes on the table, and it's a really easy way to get veggies nice and quick. So thank you, Jen at Mama Lion Strong, for that awesome tip. The second veggie prep tip that I'm loving right now, and I've been loving for the last couple months, actually came from one of the members in my online nutrition and fitness coaching group. So it came from a woman named Chelsea, and she says when her greens, like her kale or her spinach, are starting to go bad, she just pops them all into a bunch of plastic bags and chucks them in the freezer, and then it's all ready to pop into your smoothies in the morning. So that's level 1 smoothie bag, is literally just putting your greens into some bags once they're starting to go, or they're about to turn bad. Before they've turned bad, then you put them in the bag and freeze them up. Level 2 veggie or smoothie bag would be to actually make the whole smoothie in a bag, right? So you could I take like 2 cups of spinach or kale, some frozen berries, half a banana, you could put half an avocado in there, you could throw some hemp hearts, then you just chuck it into your Vitamix or a blender, blend it up with water or almond milk or cow's milk or whatever you're using, coconut milk, and a little bit of protein powder to make it a complete meal. And that's a super easy way to get veggies in, especially if you're doing shakes at the beginning of the day, which is a great way to get veggies in at the beginning of the day. So this brings us to veggie prep tip number 3. And this is the one that's a little bit more unconventional, I'll say. So I think in a perfect world, it would be great if we all just loved eating vegetables all the time. I really do enjoy eating vegetables, but at the same point in time, I don't always have time to prep them. And so I need ways to make sure that my veggies taste really good. Of course, local and organic vegetables are going to taste far better than the conventional alternatives. However, I think it's really important to remember that sometimes we can't always grab local or organic veggies. Sometimes we need to choose the conventional alternatives, whether it's because of cost or availability, or whether you're out for lunch, or you're at a convention, or you're at work and lunch is served, for example. But if we want to be continually eating tons of veggies because we know it's part of that foundation of a really healthy diet, then we need to actually enjoy the way that our vegetables taste. So veggie prep tip number 3 that I'm loving right now is use dip, sauce, and salad dressings. And I know this sounds unconventional and almost opposite of what you might have heard before, right? We hear a lot of like, be careful of the extra dips and sauces, and they contain calories and that sort of thing. Yeah, for sure. But we have to use this tool wisely, and we use it with the lowest effective dose. So I just told you in veggie tip number 1, when I put this weekly veggie tray out on the table at dinner time, it usually doesn't go out there alone. It usually comes with some tzatziki or some hummus, or this most amazing garlic dip that's made by this chef down the road from me named Brandy. I'm sorry, it's not like a big company, so you have to come to Invermere to try it, and it's amazing. But the whole point here is that if our goal is to regularly eat lots of veggies, I'm talking week after week, month after month, year after year, not just because we're doing a 30-day challenge, or not just because we're doing a 21-day, whatever you call it. The whole point here is making really good nutritional habits that last for weeks and months and years, and we actually enjoy them, so then we're actually going to continue to do them, which means that it's sustainable. Then we get the long-term health and body composition benefits because we're eating lots of veggies regularly. So when it comes to the dip, sauces, salad dressing idea, we use lowest effective dose. That means if you go to a restaurant, sure, grab a salad, but ask for the dip or the dressing on the side. Then you get to control how much goes on. Just put the lowest effective dose. So that might be, half of the dressing that they offer. With dip, instead of loading up every single vegetable, do a quick little dip in. It adds a little bit more flavor other than just the vegetable flavor. And it's one way to make your vegetable intake a little bit more sustainable. So I hope that was really helpful for you guys. If you have any other veggie tips that you or your family are enjoying right now, please type them in. I'm just going to quickly run over the 3 that we covered today. Jen from Mama Lion Strong does the weekly veggie tray. I've adopted it. It's working really, really well for us. I change up the vegetables weekly, and I change up the dips that we use weekly so that we don't get bored, and that we're still excited about eating our veggies. Tip number 2 was to make smoothie bags with your leftover greens, or your greens that are about to go bad, or if you're like going away for the weekend. You can also actually make a full smoothie bag with like a banana and avocado and veggies, other veggies like carrots or cucumbers and berries. And then tip number 3 was don't be afraid of dips, salad dressings, and sauces. You can totally make your own healthy dips and sauces and salad dressings from home, but it's the type of thing that I don't want us to avoid eating vegetables because we're afraid of having dip, and dip is unhealthy, right? There's kind of like this difference between like realistic thinking or idealistic thinking. If you're not eating very many vegetables right now and having a little bit of dip or salad dressing or sauce on your like roasted veggies or that sort of thing would help you to eat more vegetables, then we're going to consider that a win, and that would be where we start. If you're already eating tons of veggies and you feel like you don't need lowest effective dose of dip, salad dressing, or sauce, then don't worry about that tip. All right, thanks so much for joining me, for coming into my little kitchen here. And thanks, Rachel. Rachel said, I love the sustainable long-term approach. Me too. It's been the thing, really the thing that's been the game changer for me and my clients over the years. Less quick fix, more long-term change. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon.